Today I'll compare a $100,000 Patek Philippe 5712 against a $20,000 Rolex Pepsi. Patek is 5 times the price of the other, but is it really worth it? First, a bit about me. I'm a watch expert based in Dubai and have professionally sourced Rolex APs, Pateks for clients. So I definitely know the ins and outs of every watch brand. So what you see here are two of my favorite watches. I've owned the Pepsi for over 6 years now, and I still love wearing it. This watch is an absolute stunner, but how does it compare to this $100,000 Patek? In this video, I'll first compare the major differences in packaging. Then I'll go over the details of each watch. And finally, I'll do a fit check so you can see which watch looks best on the wrist. At the end of the video, I'll tell you which watch I would choose if I had to pick one. So here we have the boxes. We're gonna do the unboxing of the Rolex first and then the Patek 5712. So we'll put this on the side. In the meantime, I also got you guys the new Rolex box that just got released for 2025. So let's start off with the original box that my Pepsi came in. And then here we have the green Rolex box. Inside, you're gonna have a green tag, and then you have a little opening where, of course, you get instruction manual, the warranty card. Here we have the watch, beautiful, love it. So the outer box here now becomes green, which I actually love. And then here what they did is they added a small Rolex instead of the big Rolex crown. I love the design on the outer box. When you open it up, it's still the same beige. As you can tell, this one is flat. And this one, as you can see, it's more flat. Again, more luxurious. I like the new box. A lot of people ask me for the new box. That's the unboxing for the Rolex. So now here we have the Patek 5712. You have here a box that's wrapped in this beautiful soft felt. And then here you also have the papers. So when a lot of people say you have boxes and papers, it's called the full set. So this is what we're discussing. And when it comes to paper, actually Patek still has papers still. So here you'll have your papers and it's always at the bottom. How you find the box is actually being protected with a beautiful soft velvet cover. Then once we open it, we have this like brown, beautiful mahogany box. You have this lock on the box, beautiful angle, triple hinges. The cool thing about this box is that on the bottom you have 4 little legs with velvet finishing. So it's very cool, very soft. So it's not just on the box so you don't scratch it. And then now when you open it, here you have the 5712, beautiful unboxing. You need it to activate everything through this pin. Actually, if you see these buttons right here, they activate the buttons in order to change the date and the moon phase. So look at the space, the presentation, it's by itself. It's a grandiose type of presentation. So when it comes to the boxing, which one do I prefer? I do love the attention to details. I'm a very detail-oriented person. So I see, like example, instead of having 2 hinges, which they could get away with, they have the 3, the mahogany finish and everything. I love the Patek. The only thing about the Patek is just it's very heavy. What I love about the Rolex, so let's say for example, I have a couple of Rolex, I'm able to put 2-3 boxes on top of each other and it's not taking that much space, believe it or not. Example, like I have more room to put 2 boxes than I have one. So like I can maybe even add a 3rd one. Like this is crazy. So one watch taking all that space, I think it's a little bit too much. So obviously for me, in case when it comes to boxing and packaging, I would take the Rolex, especially the new box. It's for the win when it comes to the boxing and unpackaging experience. Now we'll be talking about the watch. So now comes the fun part. I'll be comparing both watches side by side. So first off, let's compare the watch size of the Pepsi. Here we have the Pepsi at 40 millimeters. And guess what? The 5712 is the same size. Same size, but different shape. As you can see, this is a circle. This is more square, circle-ish. Not as square as the Cubitus, of course, but you know, you have the Nautilus look here. Next thing, which I could tell right away in my hand, which I have to talk about, is the thickness. This is much more thicker. So this one is 12 millimeters thick versus the Patek being 9 millimeters thick. And you have the second hand by itself, and it's in super, super thin 9 millimeter case. Here you have the GMT hand with date, and it's much more thicker. Side by side, like look how thicker this one is. Also, you could tell with the bezel. Here you have a way thicker bezel than here. Talking about the bezel, this one's made out of ceramic, surrounded by a stainless steel border. Again, super, super iconic, beautiful. Just love this watch. This bezel is brushed stainless steel, simple, classic, beautiful Nautilus look. So next we're going to talk about the dial. So here we have the Rolex dial. So as you can see, it has Rolex and it has basically, it says here GMT Master 2, Super Lume chronometer officially certified. And then at the top says Oyster Perpetual date. So there's a lot of text on it. The reason I'm talking about that, black light on it, look how beautiful that is. Yes, the bezel goes all red, which actually a lot of people love it and actually go crazy about this. So that's one of the features, and you see how bright that is. So this one, it comes to the Pepsi dial. So here we have the Patek Philippe. So obviously, as you guys can see, it's a beautiful blue dial. And here it's very more minimalistic. There's not that much text. Here it just has Patek Philippe, Genève at the top, and then you have the power reserve. You have the dates, instead of the Rolex having a date where it's basically in the Cyclops eye. Here you have basically a circle for the date, so it just points at the date. And then as you can tell, when you put on the lume, so you're missing 3 markers when it comes to the Patek 5712. But again, look at this one, the lume is more green versus this one being more blue. So that's when it comes to the dials. So now we're going to talk about what puts the watch together, this beautiful Jubilee bracelet. So obviously this is a stainless steel bracelet. Something you guys didn't notice, I don't know if I'm trying to do it, I think I could get on the reflection. In the middle, it's 5 links, but the 3 links are polished, and then on the side is brushed. And beautiful bracelet. The thing I love about this, what Rolex does, is they always think about the person wearing the watch and this extra half link that you're able to pull on and off. Again, you have also for the GMT, a double lock system, very easy to open and close. Super comfortable. Again, this just lays so elegantly on your hand. Doesn't matter if you have a big wrist, small wrist. Jubilee is always the most comfortable when it comes to the stainless steel bracelets. So here when it comes to the Patek, we have basically the Nautilus bracelet. So obviously if you guys know about the Nautilus, they're all the same bracelet in stainless steel rose gold. The only difference is that in 2023, the clasp changed. They changed it to a butterfly clasp. And I have to say, this is the most annoying and difficult. Like, it's not that easy. I have to go put my finger under the clasp here and then pull. And I do the same thing here. The cool thing I love about Patek, which, you know, it's funny we're talking about the bracelet, is that it's molded. What do I mean by molded? Check this out. It sits on itself versus Rolex does not do that. So obviously it's so soft and malleable. You just lay it on itself. By the way, the steel Rolex uses is very high grade stainless steel. It's called 902 steel. When it comes to waterproofing, so this one is 60 meters. So being this thin at 9 millimeters, it is waterproof up to 60 meters. And this one is waterproof up to 100 meters. So this means basically, yes, if you put water on it, it's fine. You could go swimming with it. Do I suggest it? No. Or whatever, it is still okay at 60. But going deeper than that, we have a problem. Obviously, when we're talking about waterproof, you have both crowns that are screw-ins. So both are screw-ins, which are good indicators for being water resistant. So here's the same thing. So there we have it when it comes to the bracelet. Next up, let's talk about the weight. So when it comes to the Patek 5712, it's 123 grams. By the way, this Patek is full link. Whatever I'm weighing is with all the links on it. 142. So 20 gram difference. The cool thing about this is this has more complication. Now we're going to talk about the functionality. So when it comes to the functionality of the Pepsi GMT, a lot of people don't know that this watch actually has 3 functionality. The first one is the date. The second one is the GMT. The third one is the rotating bezel, which adds an additional GMT time. So the first thing I'm going to do is adjust the date. And this is for the GMT functionality. So this I'm able to go forward. So now it's the 30th, or backwards. So now it's the 29th. Next functionality is if you see the red hand, which is right here, you have the Mercedes hand, which is the hour hand, which is obviously the local time, and then the away time. The way the time is read is actually, one is from the inside, one is from the outside. By the way, whenever you come to reset the time, you always press it in, it resets it, then you pull it all the way out to move everything again. That you stop. No, you have to push it back in, then pull it back out to adjust everything. So now what I'm doing is I'm setting the GMT hand first. So assume, so again, where are we reading this? On the outside of the watch. So here's 12, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here's noon, here's 2 p.m. So you're reading on the outside. So let's assume it's 2 p.m. So I'm gonna set the arrow at 2, and let's just say it's exactly 2 p.m. So boom, done. So here you read it at 2 p.m. and then here it's 2 p.m. With the GMT hand moving, you're able to read the time also here in case you know another time is away, ahead, or behind X amount of hours. So if you know, I know a different country or different city, say is behind 2 hours, you just move it 2 hours, you'll know the time. So if that's the functionality, that's where you have the date, and that's basically how you use the GMT. So again, 3 functionality, super cool, love it, and everything gets controlled through the crown. So now when it comes to the Patek 5712, same thing, you unscrew it. So when I pull it out here, I only have one, and that's to set the time. In order to set the date, you actually have to use this pin that comes with the watch. The tip of this pin is made out of white gold, so you don't scratch the watch. And here you have the seconds, and there you have the moon, and there you have the date. So in order to change the date, you actually is on this side. So here we have a little button, and then you just click it. So I'm gonna put the pin here so you guys can see. So I'm able to move the date. So 1, 2. As you can see, if I have to move the date all the way around, again, this is way easier with the Pepsi. Another thing is here we have, again, the tool here for this one, and this one's for the moon phase. So a lot of you will be like asking, well, how do you adjust the moon phase? The moon phase is adjusted super, super easily. You just go to Patek Philippe's website, you put in the date of today, and then it'll tell you exactly how the moon phase will look like by the day. Now, when it comes to the third complication, the power reserve is at the top left. It is by far my favorite complication. As you see, as I'm winding, you see the white hand moving to the left until I move it till 48 hours. So now it is fully charged at 48 hours. And then it shows you as it's losing power. So I love it. And that's when it comes to the complications of the watch. Again, I really do not enjoy this pin to adjust everything. I wish everything could be done through the crown. So now we're gonna do a wrist check, and we're gonna start off with the Rolex. It fits beautifully on my wrist, as you can see. In terms of weight, you do feel the weight evenly distributed, but you feel the weight of the watch. So you feel you're wearing a watch. The Jubilee is super, super comfortable. One thing I have to say, if I go like this back and forth, it does not cut my hair. It does not rip my hair. I don't have any issues at all, at all, at all. Again, I love the fact I could open it up a bit. Overall, honestly, super, super comfortable watch. What I love about the watch the most, I understand it's the bezel, but for me it's the bracelet. It gives a sense of luxury. It's unbelievable when you see the red and blue bezel. So next up, the Patek 5712. Here we cannot extend, as mentioned before. Closing it, then double close. So the first thing I've noticed is that it's practically evenly weighted. The weight is evenly all around. I actually don't even notice it. So if I'm wearing this every day, I won't notice it. Again, when it comes to the hair check, does not get cut up in the hair. Super comfortable, super light. And also I feel that this is actually, believe it or not, is more subtle than the Jubilee. The Jubilee I feel screams more than this bracelet. Obviously it's 5 times the price. And for me, man, just the blue dial and everything, this is super beautiful. Again, with the butterfly, I think would be a game changer, obviously with this one. That would be my only feedback on this watch because I cannot adjust it. Now comes the question, if I had both at the same price, which one would I choose? So let's assume both are $20,000. Or how about if I could get both at retail, which one would I get? So obviously at retail, you'd go with the Patek, even though it's discontinued. The reason why, I won't say it's quiet luxury, but you could say something like that. So if it were both at retail, obviously I would take the Patek 5712. If they're both the same price, let's assume $20,000, I would still take the Patek. I wish they had power reserve on these other ones. I just don't know how it would look aesthetically. It won't look nice. So, and then it has my second favorite feature, which is the moon phase. So if I'd have to choose from one of the two, it would be the Patek. And then lastly, at the price, is it worth 5 times the price? It's hard to say, to be honest. So I could get like 5 Pepsis. I could get like a Bruce Wayne, like 5 different GMTs. Here, I don't feel I'm wearing a $100,000 watch. I feel like I'm wearing a nice, quiet, luxury watch. It's beautiful, Patek. I love Patek. It's obviously one of my favorite brands. This one, actually no man, this is too beautiful. You know what guys? I've changed my mind. I would get this one at 100K. The reason why, number one, Patek makes around 50 to 60,000 watches. Number two, it's discontinued. Number three, if you know, you know. Number four, just how light it is, how thin it is, the complication. To me, if you can afford and spend $100,000 on this watch, I would go ahead and do it. Let me know what you guys think. What should I also compare next? Do you guys want the AP? I spoke about AP. And yeah, if you're looking for the Patek 5712 or the Pepsi and the new Rolex box, brand new 2025, you can reach out to us on our website at bigmowatches.com. Once again, guys, thank you guys again for watching. And again, let me know in the comments what you guys think, which one you like more, 5712 or the Pepsi.